AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Popping on and off like that, AllBall. How dare AllBall, Kenny A? What's wrong with him?
Oh no, man.
No. We good. I had to mute the TV. My apologies.
Thanks.
Ball suckers.
That would be him. He doesn't have his little miniature ball with him, Kenny A. He usually shows off. I think he's getting shot because you in the building. A real point guard's in the building.
Yeah,
we talking about.
Yeah.
A real point guard. Yeah. Where our people at, man? You know what this is, man. Little Knicks Rehab, little mix of everything, AllBall TV, playoff predictions with our guy, Kenny Anderson, New York legend. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. You know, it's always a pleasure talking to my people, you know, just about basketball. And it's a great time of year. It's playoffs, NBA playoffs. So, you know, it's all the fans and all everybody's getting into their teams and things of that nature. So it's great.
Hey, hold on, Fabian, because he trying to be slick. He real humble. He trying to be modest. We know who he representing.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna let him be slick up here. He rolling with the Boston Celtics, the best team in the NBA. So don't try to reel us in and be calm and cool, because we know what's going on out there, man. Yeah. First and foremost, we got the legend, Kenny Anderson. Just real quick, how you feeling today, my brother? How's everything been going?
Oh, everything's been going well, man. I can't complain. Everything is up. Everything is up. It's a blessing, you know, that I'm here with y'all talking about basketball, man. NBA playoffs and college basketball was awesome. Just watching the game that got me everything, you know what I'm saying? So I just love watching the game of basketball and chiming in, throwing my little 2 cents in it, you know, yes, on what I know about the game of basketball. And it's a great sport, and I know everybody love it.
Yes, big shout out. Yeah, we got our guy in the building. You know, he always show love. The Balls Claus, Keith Claus is in the building. Big shout out, Keith Claus.
Big shout out. You know, I remember him playing with the Clippers back in the days. Now he's doing great things over in China. He's doing great things with the youth, the kids. And that's a blessing, man. That's truly a blessing.
Yes. Quick question, Mr. Chips, because, you know, we always show respect to our guys we got real love for. Did you ever get a chance to play against Keith Claus?
Yeah. When I was with the Nets, back in the days, you know, he's a center. He played with the Clippers, and I don't remember. It's way back, man, way back. But he played with the Clippers. He was just, you know, I don't remember too much of that time when we played against him, but he was an awesome dude. I just, you know, as a person, he's a great guy, and I always respected him for that, being the type of person he is. Yes.
You know, me and Fabian, we can attest, because, you know, he does nothing but show us love, man. Ever since we met him, ever since we were introduced to him, he does nothing but support and show love, and he always lets me know he's just a DM away and he'll, you know, pull up or whatever. So great brother, man. Always got to show love to Keith Claus. But Fabian, one of the best moderators I know. Let's get this thing going, man.
Yeah.
Definitely shout out to Keith Claus. He spends a lot of time in DR as well. So, you know, I got a lot of love for him. Yeah. I got to go visit him. I got to tell him I'm going to sneak out. I'm not sneak. I'm telling come with the wife, with the family. We're going to visit Keith Claus. Who? Yeah. Don't matter. Let's go. Let's hop on a flight. I did want to start off. Everybody in the chat, click that link in there. We got our Discord is up. Go in there, funnel our people in there so we can get to promote all of our stuff. Anything that we have new, whether it's a video, events. Speaking of events, let's not let this slide, Kenny A. June 21st, the Kenny Anderson Showcase, the second annual Kenny Anderson Showcase is down there, Myrtle Beach, Sockasty High School, June 21st. That is the date. Kenny Anderson second annual showcase, my brother. Be there, be square. I keep it old school, Kenny A.
And I want to give a great shout out to you two guys, Fabian and AllBall, who really done a great job, you know, my first year, and plan on doing a better job this year coming up, you know, with hosting it and helping me just you know, get everybody in and let everybody know about it. And I really appreciate it in a big way, man. I really appreciate that. Love, always.
One more time, June 21st, that's a Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have the Kenny Anderson second, y'all, annual showcase down there in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the legendary Socastee High School. Once again, be there, be square. It's going to be a great event. You get to chop it up with the legend. He's going to be out there showing love to the young men and women out there. Got drinks, beverages, a little bit of food. So please, if you ain't doing nothing, June 21st, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Socastee High School, Kenny Anderson's second annual basketball showcase.
You already know. And hopefully some of these kids, they grow up, make it to the league. That's the plan. That's our plan. And speaking of the NBA, we want to see you kids at least make it to the NBA and definitely in the NBA playoffs. 2025 NBA playoffs is about to start. And I need to know what Kenny Anderson thinks about specifically the play-in. We look at the bracket here. Of course, the number 1 seed is the Cleveland Cavaliers out east. And we know the number 2 seed is somebody's favorite team over here on the screen.
Boo!
The Boston Celtics. You know, our New York Knicks, they're in the 3rd seed. The best team overall, Oklahoma City Thunder. You have the Rockets in 2nd place out there out west. And the Lakers snuck in there into 3rd place as the Nuggets. They hit a little downtrend. The Clippers stepped it up. Kawhi's back. Zubac looks like a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. But that's not what's going on right now. Let's zoom in right now. Game 6, Warriors are in the 7th seed. The Grizzlies are in the 8th seed. That's the game of the night coming up, AllBall. That's the one we want to talk about. Let's talk about it. The winner gets to play the Rockets. Whoa, me, oh my. First, AllBall, I do want to get that info from Kenny Anderson. What do you think of the play-in? Because if the Warriors lose this game, Kenny, they'll be 0 for 4 in play-in history. What do you think about it?
The most is money for the lead and money everywhere. I don't like it. You know, the first 8 teams should get in the playoffs and that's it. So it's just a money grab. I understand the money and TV and everything like that. So it's just crazy to me. But in that game, Golden State against Memphis Grizzlies, you're gonna have to go, and then they at home, Golden State. You gotta go with with the champs, the ex-champs, and that's Golden State. John Morant is a great player. They got the big from Memphis is great. I forget his name. What's his?
Jerry Jackson Jr.
Jerry Jackson Jr. is great. The other guard, they have a great team, but they in transition with the coaching staff. They just fired the coach, so it's they in transition. And Golden State got Jimmy Butler now. Draymond Green is there, and Steph Curry. I just think everything is going Golden State in their direction. But you never know how these games can be. I know Memphis is going to come out and play strong. They're very young, very, very talented team. So you just never know. But I don't like it. I just don't like it. Playing game.
You'd rather have seen them both miss the playoffs and because the Timberwolves earned that spot number 8. Yeah.
Why not? Why not? It's just it's kind of different, man. It's kind of different. You just see different playoff games. You see more basketball. You see more basketball, and I get it for the fan and things of that nature. But I just think if you don't do it in the regular season, 82 games, it's a wrap. Why do it?
AllBall, the Warriors would be 0 for 4 in play-in history if they lose.
Yeah.
4 times. Not only did you not make the top 8 seeds, but you're going to be 0 for 4 in play-in history. Why do you deserve with the great Steph Curry, the great Draymond Green? Why do they deserve to be in the playoffs ever again?
Yeah. I gotta agree with Kenny Anderson here. I never like to play in. I think you shouldn't be rewarded for losing. Like he said, 1 through 8. If you 9 and 10, tied for 11, and No, I don't like it, but I also think, you know, Adam Silver, he can't let go of the older generation, the LeBron, the KD, the Currys. For some reason, he feel he has to have them in the playoffs. So I think this is for them. Where it's almost like, you know, those guys may not be able to play a full season. It's like, what can I do to help these guys out to get in the playoffs? So I totally agree with Kenny Anderson. I don't like it. I don't think you should be rewarded if you is not in that 1 through 8. I think it's wrong, and I don't like it at all. But I'm gonna disagree now with Mr. Chibbs on this. I don't think Golden State should be the favorite in this game, and I'm gonna tell you why. I watched them last night. That was a hell of a game against the Clippers, and they lost in overtime. I'm gonna be realistic. Memphis Grizzlies is hungry. Ja Morant is he has to figure out a way to get the people back on his side. And I think a game like tomorrow will put his will put his name back at the top, especially if he plays great against Steph Curry in Golden State So I kind of want to go with Memphis with this one, but let's be honest. Golden State, if they win tomorrow, they play Houston in the 2nd seed. So for me, you know, I think tomorrow night is the game to watch. Curry against Ja Morant, 2 good teams. But I think Golden State, they have an opportunity to make some noise in the playoffs because, like you said, Kenny, they are vets, they are former champions. We know what Jimmy Butler brings to the table, especially in the playoffs. But I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm gonna go with the young, hungry dogs. I think I'm gonna roll with Memphis tomorrow.
I totally disagree, as usual.
Yeah,
I'm rolling with Kenny.
I understand that, but I'm going with, you know, Golden State. They're home. They got some veterans, you know, 3 top veterans in the league. They're probably Hall of Famers. I'm just gonna go with Golden State. They'll pull it off, I believe.
Yeah, I'm riding with Queens on this one, all ball. Yeah. Memphis ain't got no hunger. They were fighting on the sideline. They fired their coach. They're in the middle of changing the strategy. They hired a coach in November to sit back behind Taylor Jenkins, who had a different strategy than Taylor Jenkins. Now they got to come up with a new play in a play-in game against the Golden State Warriors. They want no parts of Draymond Green starting the whole mess in the playoffs because that's what he does. I don't think they're hungry enough. That coach got to prove more to me. And Ja Morant, respectfully, he cares about everything else but basketball in my mind. He wants to celebrate what new weapon he's going to pull out and demonstrate on the basketball court. That's what he's busy doing. I don't think he's totally interested in the basketball. And as much criticism as we have of Draymond Green, yo, he cares about the game, man. He wants to win. He wants to win. Like, as crazy as he is, that's the guy that Steve Kerr and these dudes. Now he's back into the defensive player of the year conversation. That doesn't happen without being hungry. Doesn't happen without the Jimmy Butler trade. And I want to see Golden State versus the Rockets. I'd rather see that any day of the week than the Memphis Grizzlies and the Houston Rockets. And you know I was big on the Rockets early. I mean the Memphis Grizzlies early on. Ball. They disappointed me.
I don't think the league want that either. You know,
the fix
Grizzlies, Houston Rockets. Yeah,
at all.
Yeah,
but see,
different,
right? But all right. What would y'all like to see? Because I wouldn't mind seeing Houston versus Memphis, 2 young teams. You know, you got dogs on each side. I'm just being honest with you. I'm tired of seeing Curry get to the play-in or to the first round and lose. Like I said last night, he played with the Clippers. He played against the Clippers. Had a great game, but he threw 3 bad turnovers.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Like I said, I'd like to see Golden State play Houston Rockets, man. You know, one of the great teams, Houston, Golden State, and one of the up and coming Houston Rockets. They not if they can win it, not Golden State off the mound forever. You know, they go on, but not Memphis. You know, it just would be a good read, good game, and everything with Golden State against the Rockets. You know, good series. Steph had it with the head coach. Udoka, they got into it already. So it's good climax there.
The drama is there. Yeah. The storyline and the drama is there. Okay, I give you that.
Yep.
Oh, boy, let's not forget.
And I just, yeah.
Go ahead, Kenny.
What'd you say?
No, I said go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh, I just feel like Steph Curry, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler, just one more chance. They got one more opportunity, one more chance. See where it goes. See where it goes.
Look.
See where it goes.
I'm tired of seeing these old. Listen, I'm tired of seeing these old geezers get chance after chance. Give the young bucks a chance. Listen, if Golden State is gonna win in the play-in and then get their ass kicked in the first round, stay your ass home.
Now, I would say if they didn't fire the coach from the Grizzlies, I would give them more of a shot. I would give them more of a shot. But I would give them more of a shot. But I don't think they got a shot. That's on me. I don't think so.
See, I like the Rock, like you just said, Kenny Anderson. I got to piggyback off that. Ime Udoka lost to Golden State. They lost to Golden State in the championship when he was the coach for your Celtic. He got smoked with them Warriors. You said, he got smoked for Steph Curry. And also, let's not forget Kenny A. Dylan the Villain Brooks used to be on Memphis, and now he brought that personality to the Rockets.
Yes.
And he could get at Draymond Green.
Yes. Yeah.
We want to see. I don't want to see people get their jaws broken, but I want to see some almost fights in the playoffs. I want to see some almost fights. Let's get it on. As the great Mills Lane once said.
In the 90s, when I played in it, when I played in the league, they had to tone it down. They had to tone it down. David Stern was real. He had to put the fines in effect. You got to put the fines in effect. The lead is a lot softer now, but it's 3-pointers and things of that nature in the lead, and it's just
but Kenny,
easier game, man.
But did you see the last game with the Warriors and Rockets? They were letting them fly. Yeah, Draymond technical. This guy technical. Draymond should have got kicked out of the game. But Dylan Brooks, all them kid, and Amen Thompson, the Sengun kid, the way Draymond was guarding Sengun. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yes, the drama's there, but it's also mano basketball skill wise, all ball. Have we convinced you all ball? Or you still tired of them old dogs?
Now, you know what? I never do this, but both my brothers up here, Kenny A and Fabian, y'all convinced me. Y'all correct now. Because the last Houston Rocket Golden State game, no, it was a lot of drama. I love that. Like you said, Udoka and Curry had some words. Draymond Green and Sengun was going at it. So y'all are totally correct. And I guarantee you, Fabian just hit it on the nose. And please, Kenny, if you could respond to this, being a great Celtic that you are, we know that coach did not forget about losing that finals against Golden State. This would be his payback.
Yes. Udoka understands that. It wasn't too far ago, 3 years ago, so he's going to be he wants that. He wants Golden State. I ain't.
Hold on. Kenny, stay there. No.
Hold on, stay there. Smoke.
Right.
We want the smoke.
We want to hear from you. You being just a basketball legend, not only a Celtic legend, but a basketball legend. Yeah. Put yourself in Udoka's shoes. Do you think you playing at that level and playing with the good coaches? Do you think Udoka is still thinking about that championship and he wants Golden State?
I think a little bit. You gotta move on. He's coaching Houston Rockets now. He's doing a hell of a job there. But I think it's in the back of his mind. That series, when he does get that, if Golden State wins and he get that series, it'll be more on his mind. But I really believe he wants them, and with the talent level that Houston has, they should win. But it won't be easy because of their veterans. They're veterans. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler. They're veterans. They know how to win. They know how to win. And Jimmy Butler is a playoff killer. He's a playoff killer. So it's and this is where the young have to battle the old. You know, they got, you know, Houston has to contain, you know, Golden State and got to get it right. But you just never know in those type of games.
Hey, real quick, we need everybody to hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. We got a special edition AllBall TV today. We talking playoffs with the legend Kenny Anderson. Fabian, it's something that people are not bringing up. Both sides got great coaches. You got Udoka against Steve Kerr. Who wins that matchup?
Yes.
I think that's going back to that series, Kenny A, because even in real time, I couldn't believe Ime Udoka was playing drop coverage on Steph Curry every possession when the book is out. You saw the Clippers. The last possession against the Clippers, they were trying to clothesline Steph Curry. No, don't give him the ball. And Ime Udoka and them, they played drop coverage, and no disrespect, Kenny Anderson, but I keep it real. Draymond kind of punked them dudes over there in Beantown. And I think Udoka is very excited to have the Amen Thompson, Dylan Brooks, who they're not scared of Draymond Green. They want to antagonize him and get in his head because he already got a technical against them. He wants him to get 2 more and get him kicked out of a playoff game. I think he has revenge on his mind. How many more plays are we going to see ran from Steve Kerr that's going to be new, especially to an Ime Udoka? Everything's going to be brand new from an Ime Udoka. That team is new. Amen Thompson has another ceiling to hit, and this is the time for him to prove it. Fred VanVleet's a veteran. We want to see them boys take another leap, and they got to go prove it against the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I ain't got too much to say about it, but I know Udoka, he knows Golden State. He knows them. Now he's coaching Houston with they got a young stud. They got young studs over there, a group of them, and they're going to play, and they're going to listen to him coach. He knows the game very well. He's doing a hell of a job. It's going to be difficult to beat Houston, period.
What you thinking, AllBall? Whoa.
You know, we always shout out our people. Hey, man, we got 77 people in the building. It's early. You know, the beautiful, the lovely Darlene Bryan is in the building, always showing love. Big shout out my cousin Mookie. Once again, Kenny A, man, every time we go on live on his YouTube, sometimes we got 200-300 people in the building, but some people just show up and show out every time. So we always got to show love to them. Once again, y'all, we have the legend Kenny Anderson is in the building. Now, Fabian, let's get to the bread and butter. Got to ask Kenny Anderson. We have some matchups. We have Knicks versus Detroit. We have LA Lakers versus Minnesota. Let me ask you, are those the two so far in the first round that you are looking forward to watching those matchups?
Those matchups are going to be killer. They're going to be exciting basketball, man, right there. The Lakers against Minnesota. You know, everybody is favoring the Lakers, but that's, you know, Anthony Edwards. That's gonna be a goodie, man. Those guys, and Julius Randle is over there putting them. They got a great team, Minnesota, and Luka is now with the Lakers, and Braun is playing. That's a hell of a series, man. That's gonna be that. And the Knicks against Detroit. Detroit has been playing lights out basketball. This is their first in 10 years making the playoffs. You know what? Cunningham. They don't have nobody to stop them over there. The Knicks. I'm sorry, they don't have nobody to stop Cunningham. You know, but I'm gonna tell you something, AllBall. I know how we love the Knicks. In this series, I love the Knicks too.
He jinxing us. He doing that on purpose. Don't do that.
I said, you know, if the series is 7, well, I don't know how many games it is, but I would say the Knicks is 6, you know, 6-5. They'll win the series. The Knicks are going to win the series.
So hold on, Fabian. Before you jump into this, I gotta ask the legend. What do you see? The Knicks, what edge do they have against Detroit? But hold on, let me break it down before I let you just cook. Because Detroit, I think, beat us. Yeah. They beat us 3 times this season. They beat us convincingly. And Kay Cunningham, if I'm not mistaken, averaged a 30-point triple-double against us. He looked like he's unstoppable. So what makes you give our Knicks, the edge against the Detroit Pistons from your point of view?
First of all, Detroit didn't make the playoffs in 10 years. That Garden will be rocking. I'm telling you, they ain't gonna know how to deal with that.
Talk to him.
And that's the favorite. That's the favorite I got the Knicks to win this series. That's the only thing I see is the home court advantage that the Knicks, savored up and got. It's going to be nuts. I played in it in the playoffs, and I couldn't hear myself. I was a little shook in a little bit. I was like, whoa, this was crazy. New York fans come out and they let it out. The playoffs is a different ball game. And that's all I see. Detroit just maybe not ready fully for the playoffs in New York. And that's where it's going to swing. It's going to swing. I really believe that. The home court advantage that the Knicks have.
Wow.
I think just by you saying that, because this is the stuff that I know I can't speak on, the experience.
Yeah.
So for you to say is you can't even hear yourself. You're the point guard. You're the quarterback. How do you get the play out to your coach, to your teammates? That's my thing with the Pistons. All right, you got Cade, but he'll win you one or two games. But who's the second guy for the Pistons? We got Cat, and we got a sneaky OG creeping up, K.
Yeah. Now, my main thing, if this is, I'm saying, if they can win one in the Garden, then it might, but I don't think they can win in the Garden. That's my, but you just never know with them series. Detroit has been so successful against the Knicks. They can come in there either big-headed or they can listen to their coach and grind it out. We don't know. But if they get one at the Garden, might change. But I don't think they'll get one at the Garden. And that's
please, I gotta piggyback off that. You and this is why we love to have you up here, not only because you're our brother, because you speak from that experience. And I've not heard nobody yet say the advantage the Knicks have. Everybody may say Brunson, Cat, OG defense. But you said something nobody spoke about, that sixth man, which is that New York Knicks fan crowd, that fan base. And you're right. Detroit hasn't been there. They don't understand. And I remember Floyd Mayweather used to say, listen, them bright lights hit different when you play against or you fight against certain people.
Yeah.
Wow. So, but I agree with you. Yep. Detroit, that last game, we played them and they beat us. I told Fabian, we have to be careful because they are confident against us. They are confident, and you're correct. If they get one game, now I'm definitely taking us to 6. But if they get one game, Kenny, you're right. We in trouble.
Kenny, can you speak to that? But because the Pistons are young, you had the Nets. You were on that Portland team that was young. You were on a lot of teams. You were on Boston with Paul Pierce and were young. Can you break down what exactly are you going through? What do you have to get over as a young crew to get over things? Because you might be nice, but where's your second option at?
Yeah, just the crowd, the officiating. It changes from regular season to playoffs. So they'll let a lot go that they might not let it go during the regular season. Fouls will be more harder, things of that nature. Now these two teams, they grinded it out all year. So they'll know, the coaching staffs will do a hell of a job recruiting them and knowing their plays and sets. So this is where the talented players step up. It's either you have them or you don't. And Jalen Brunson and Cat, they know they're nice. Cunningham is nice. So you got to break it down that way. The plays and with their go-to plays and things of that nature, you're gonna have to try to stop one of them guys from getting off, and that's assists, scoring, rebound, things of that nature. So you got to slow it down, and it slows down. Playoff slows down. So transition, you won't get too many transition. You have to execute better. And this is what playoff basketball is all about. But like I said earlier, it's Madison Square Garden. The playoffs is a whole different ball game, baby. It's tough to win in there in the playoffs. I'm telling you.
Yo, Fabian, Kenny A said something that I love. Younger players being able to adjust. So, how would they react if they don't get the calls that they got in the regular season, but because they're young, like you said, the referee may not give them that call. How you going to react to just a whole different atmosphere? Just real quick, you in the locker room, you the OG, you the vet, the guy that been there, and like you said, you coaching a young crew, or you the guard for the young crew. What one piece of advice would you try to tell them in these playoffs when you're a young team?
About just go play through it. You have to play through the calls. We got to execute, and we can't turn the ball over. We got to get good shots, and we got to box out and rebound. That's it. And after that, you just you got to execute. You got to execute, and you try to get good shots. But one thing, you can't get tight with the officials. Leave them alone. Let the coach deal with it. And you just play basketball. It's hard to flip it on when you're a young player, but you got to live and learn. You got to live and learn, and just got to go out there and play and give it your all.
Hit that like button, y'all. You see the pinned comment. Jump into our Discord. We're gonna have an update. June 21st, Myrtle Beach, Socastee High School, Kenny Anderson's second annual showcase, basketball showcase. June 21st, Kenny Anderson's basketball showcase, the second annual at Socastee High School in Myrtle Beach. Click that link for the Discord. We're going to have all the information there up soon. Kenny A, you brought it up. I heard the word coach, AllBall. I want to know, if you're a player, specifically on the Knicks, and you don't like what the coach is doing in the playoffs, how intense does it get? And have you ever seen maybe some possible fisticuffs in the playoffs to get that coach up out of there that we don't want around anymore, Kenny A?
No, I never saw that. But Tom Thibodeau is a hell of a coach. He did a great job. But I know, with the firing of Mike Malone and things of that nature, you're gonna hear it. Maybe it's a better fit. There with the Knicks, they tired of him and tired of that. You're gonna hear that with fans. But you can't, you got to ignore it and just keep playing. I think Tom Thibodeau is a hell of a coach. He did a great job under the circumstances. Under the circumstances, they got 50 wins, another 50-win season. That's 2-3 in a row. He's a hell of a coach. But I think he's changed a little bit. He has to play his whole roster. He has to play these guys. See, these are moments where the guys he's been playing are ready for the playoffs. Not 4 or 5 guys. And this is his thing. And I think he came off it a little bit playing those guys. You gotta play these guys. You gotta give your top 4 or 5 players some rest, man. It's a long season, and you gotta understand that and get to it.
Kenny, let me ask you a quick question. I heard Shaq say this before, and I want to ask you, is it true?
Yeah.
When does it come to a point where it ain't about coaching no more? The players got to play. Shaq, I've heard Shaq say that before. I want to ask you, is that true?
That's all the way true. That's all in the NBA. That's what it's all about. That's all of it. You got the great players. You're gonna win some ball games. They're gonna know the game. I don't know when it hit, but it should always hit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It should always hit on the good teams, the great teams, or how you played the ball. And now you really have to understand how your great players are fine with it. Where you get them the ball, who needs the ball at a certain time of the ball game. That means your whole clique, your whole team knows that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no complaining, or everybody gets along with everybody. And it's tough in the NBA because everybody want to shine. Everybody want to shine. Everybody can't shine. Everybody can't shine. So, you got one or two one or two players that's going to shine in the bright light. When the bright lights come on, when it gets closer, you got to execute. Brunson has to execute the plays, get the ball to Cat in certain situations. You know, Obi is doing a hell of a job. You can't, he's doing a hell of a job for the New York Knicks. You got to get him the ball in certain situations, Bridges, certain situations where the game comes down to it. Everybody can't just be shooting and just running around playing. It changes. It changes. And it means a lot to the great teams, like the Boston Celtics. You understand it. They understand the personnel of the team, period. I know y'all hate Knicks, Celtics, but they understand. My Boston Celtics understand their team.
Hey, Fabian, that was a great segue. So let's stay right there. All jokes aside, what you just said is 100% correct. I've never watched a team. I don't remember last time I seen a team be this good. And I'm being serious, and it's killing me to give the Boston Celtics props because I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I respect them because you, my brother. But all jokes aside, they might be a better 3-point shooting team than the Curry Clay Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I need Fabian to jump in this, and then we'll let Kenny A explain because he is a former Boston.
I'm falling in love with the three because of them. I'm falling in love with the three. And I ain't think I could. I'm falling in love with the three. I'm like, no. Boop, 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 boop. They're shooters. They make me fall in love. I'm like, you can't shoot that many. They can shoot, man. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey, Fabian, before we, let Kenny A break down how good and why the Boston Celtics are this good, Fabian, what is your thoughts on? I think Boston Celtics, this might be a stretch. Right now, this year, they might be the greatest 3-point shooting team we've ever seen. They have at least 6-7 guys that are legit, that can knock down the 3-ball. Am I taking it going too far?
I think it's the era, bro. Like the Sacramento Kings with Chris Webber and them, they didn't get to play in this era. That Dirk Nowitzki, Nick Van Exel, Steve Kerr, Michael Finley, they had a squad, all those Phoenix squads. They didn't get to play with this freedom. And with those Golden State Warriors teams, bro, everyone forgets they have 5 guys on the court who could put the ball on the floor, go mid-range, shoot the ball. Like they were vicious too. Now Boston might be in line with all of them. I just can't say if they went back to back, that's a different category. That's a different category. We smoking all of y'all and we doing it our way. That's a different category. And let's not forget, they said Jaylen Brown just put an injection in his knee for pain relief or whatever it is. I saw one of these Twitter doctors. They broke it. They broke it down.
Our problem.
Is it?
Yeah, that's our problem. It's going to be our problem with injury a little bit. Jaylen Brown is one of those you got to watch out for him with the injury and things of that nature. But we have Tatum, Holiday, Dwight, Pritchard, six man, hands down.
It's not even close.
You got to get.
It's not even close.
Yo, hold on, Kenny. Pritchard don't look like he don't look like an NYC baller from the 90s, from the 80s. Pritchard looks crazy, man.
Yeah, he looked like one of them dudes who come in the Lost Battalion Recreation in New York and bust and be like, yo, this dude can't play. You put him, kill everybody. You be like, oh, he's on my team next. Yo, he looks like one of them ballers, man. He looks like one of them ballers. So go ahead.
No, real quick.
I just feel
No, hold on. I'm going to ask you this because I don't think nobody asked this. How good is that coach? Yeah. What do you see that coach doing that has this team looking this good and basically looking unbeatable? How good is that coach, man?
Yo, the coach is great for the talent he has, and he has these guys working, man. He knows his team. He knows his team. and he's very good at executing and things of that nature. But I think a lot has to do with confidence in his ball club. He has a lot of confidence. All coaches in the NBA have confidence in their team, but he has that strong confidence, man. That you know, he's allowing all of those guys with the three. He got shooters, man. They just shoot the three. And at first, I wasn't too thrilled with it. You know, I was like, maybe they shooting too many threes, and they in some games they do, but they be making them. so they be making them. So it's just a little bit different, you know, on how the game is played now. It's all it's 3-pointers, and they got a deadly weapon in the 3-point game. That's what they use very well.
I don't know if Sacramento or the Mavericks, because they had Don Nelson and Rick Adelman back then 20 years ago, but we forget how when Dirk got hurt, it was over for them. For Sacramento, they you know, everyone says they got robbed. So Steve Nash got bumped by Robert Horry, Robert Horry. We forget that there were these special offensive teams that went through these little knickknacks that could have really won the title, and Boston just happens to be healthy at the right time. You replace Marcus Smart with Drew Holiday. That's a different level. But part of the reason why, going back to your point, AllBall, yo, man, I'm kind of like on the low. I love their coach. I love y'all coach. Yeah. He has that fine line between nuclear crazy and then just staying honed in for his team to straighten them out. Like Jason Tatum, I haven't seen this edge with him his entire career. That thing that happened with the Olympics, he kind of reminds him subtly, like, yo, don't forget how they treated you in the Olympics, bro. This is what they do to people that think they're not the MVP. We're gonna go show them. And what he did at the Garden the other day, that was unbelievable, man. I haven't seen Tatum play like that his whole career, Kenny A.
Kenny, I gotta ask you real quick. We got 100 people in the building. Please hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. And we got the legend Kenny Anderson in the building. We talking NBA playoffs, special edition. How good is Jason Tatum? When you watch Jason Tatum, and we know the whole basketball world only talks about Curry, you know, Luka, LeBron, Durant. How good is Jason Tatum? He froze up.
We'll see if we get him back.
Yeah, we see if we get him back. Once again, y'all hit that like button. We got the legend, Kenny Mr. Chips Anderson, Queens, New York City. All right, he back in the building.
AllBall, what you say?
How good is Jason? You might have to try. I don't know. We can't see you. How good is Jason Tatum when you watch him?
Oh, he's very good. He's very, very talented. He could do it all. Could shoot, go to the basket, put it on the floor. He could rebound, shoot. Man, great.
It's breaking up and going in and out. Once again, everybody, the legend, Kenny Anderson, is in the building.
Yo, Kenny A, tap out of the window and come back into that link, please. We need you back in the building. Your question was how good is Jason Tatum?
But hold on, before you answer, right? Because I just want you to think. And big shout out to everybody in the chat. Please hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. AllBall TV afternoons. We got a special NBA playoff edition with the legend Kenny Anderson. We breaking down playoff series. We breaking down the play-in. We having great basketball talk. Fabian, why is it tough for the basketball world to give Tatum his props? Kenny A said he don't know what happened. Fabian.
Tell him just click the same link over again that you sent him, and he'll jump back in.
All right, hold on.
He's asking me Tatum's props. I don't think Tatum gets a lack of props. I guess shout out to Esso and Heineken. I did hear Heineken say something that nobody said, that Tatum is more like Tim Duncan, the Tim Duncan of this era. As much as Joker is the Tim Duncan of this era, not a flashy superstar, 9 to 5. another day at the office mentality. I think Jason Tatum has a similar mentality that the Joker and Tim Duncan does, and he's just not. There's a clear difference between Ja Morant, Ant-Man, the LeBrons of the world, even Steph Curry. Steph Curry be talking like he's always shimmy shaking and flashy. As much as Tatum would want to do that, some people got the it factor, some people don't, and it has nothing to do with how good he is. It has nothing to do with how good he is. Being a superstar and being a popular person outside of basketball has nothing to do with how good you are in basketball. That's the part that a lot of us get confused and we don't realize what we're talking about sometimes. And it can be, I understand why. I get it. Someone becomes that. Look at, I don't want to bring him up, but look at Bronny. Bronny gets criticized for being popular. That's really the only reason why we talk about him. He's up here. How is Bronny James more in a conversation than Jason Tatum, an MVP candidate, right? It's because what is the appeal to Jason Tatum? What do we really know about him? Are we really interested in him? We weren't interested in Tim Duncan like that. You know what I'm saying? Like certain people, even with Joker, they ain't interested in you like that. Luka's a different story. Luka, the #1 jersey sales in the league right now. He's a Laker now. You saw what happened when he left Dallas. They went crazy. I don't know if Boston's gonna love Tatum like that. Do not get me wrong, but it won't be the same fervor as a Luka Doncic because he's a lightning rod, bro. It's a difference between superstars outside of basketball and being an actual, an adroit, super duper talent and skilled person in your field.
I think that was a great point. And just to, piggyback off of that, I think that narrative has to change when it comes to sports. Just because, we don't think you're a dog, because you don't have no edge, because you may not be, chains on, just all in the mix, you quiet, you low key. That shouldn't stop you from, people giving you your respect. Jason Tatum might be better than Luka Doncic. Because I'm talking about the defensive end. He can put up buckets just like Luka. He's 6'9", and he can do it all. I'm sorry. And he's way more athletic. So what's stopping Jason Tatum from being better than Luka? Oh, let's not forget Jason Tatum took his team and won a championship. I think, the Jason Tatum thing, the hate has to stop. I listen, I'm a Knicks fan. I hate giving Boston Celtics props. But lately, when I'm watching Jason Tatum, he's damn near unstoppable. He can pull from half, so you got to respect that. And then he can go right by you and finish strong. I don't know what else that young man has to do to get his name to be spoken in the same breath as LeBron and KD and Curry. I'm not saying for their career. I'm saying season by season. Like this season, we've heard more about everybody except Jason Tatum. And he's the 2 seed. And when they're healthy, they're by far the best team in the NBA.
And they're champions. They've been to the finals twice already. It is what it is to me when it comes to superstardom. Even with Tim Duncan, Tim Duncan was like the Moses Malone of his era. Super duper nice, could beat Shaq, anybody you want, and then people forget like he was that great. And Jason Tatum, is he better than Luka Doncic? I don't know. If he is, it happened. He's definitely been playing better than him this season. That's not even a contest, right? But I didn't like what somebody said in the comment. Look, he's better than KD in my book. I think it was Keyshawn that said it. That's easy to say when Jason Tatum came into the league with a squad. He's been in the playoffs since he came to the league, and he never left. So I understand that KD made the wrong choices or whatever, but he never had. Let's not forget. I'll give Jason Tatum this. There was kind of a back and forth with him and Jaylen Brown, and he stuck it out over there in Boston. I think he's teaching everyone how to win in real time, along with Joker. Like, I've been with this team for 7-8 years. Y'all trying to make a beef between me and my teammate, and I still stuck around. KD didn't stick around. So, I take it back, Keyshawn. We 3 coaches in 3 years over there in Phoenix. Stability. Everybody keeps saying ability. The best ability is availability. How about stability? How about reliability? We forget about those abilities.
Yo, listen, now. Jayson Tatum knows nothing less than the conference finals. I'm gonna say that again. 5, 6, 7 years, Jayson Tatum knows nothing less than the conference finals. And he's the part for that. Forget major part. I know how good Jaylen Brown is. And we all get caught up in that who's better. Because, you know, Jaylen Brown got the MVP, you know, of the Western Conference and the Finals MVP. But let's all be real. If you had a choice to pick one or the other, I think everybody's taking Jayson Tatum. And I'm going to be honest. I'm asking you. Jayson Tatum or Luka, right now, you have to choose one of those to start your franchise. Who are you choosing?
Tatum all the way.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Tatum all the way. I can't even sugarcoat it no more because Luka's had his opportunities. Like the fact that he's always crying and he was yelling at Gafford for not playing defense is like, you got some nerve yelling at any teammate about not playing defense. Tatum has been creeping around all defensive caliber his whole career. It's not promised that just because you would have had a Drew Holiday and Derek White, that Luka's offense is, you know, serving his team that way. He gets compared to James Harden a lot, which I agree with somewhat, but, you know, he posts up way better than James Harden. He gets to the free throw line. You know, Tatum's only issue so far up until this season was getting to the free throw line and putting pressure on defenses the way that he has this season and just playing with an edge. You know, Luka plays with an edge, but when have we seen Luka Doncic play team basketball? Like what Tatum did last year in the finals, he didn't even shoot the ball well, and they won and destroyed the Mavericks. Again, he did not shoot the ball well. He had like a 8-month slump from three, from long distance, mid-range, and Jayson Tatum still won the NBA championship over Luka Doncic. For a long time, I would say I would pick Luka over Jayson Tatum, but I think, again, that's the superstardom jading. Used to jade myself. That's if anyone goes with Luka Doncic over Jayson Tatum right now, AllBall, that's straight. You like him because he's a movie star, more of a movie star, bro. He could sell movies better. But if you're talking about killing a role, you're talking about that Daniel Day-Lewis type, Jayson Tatum fits the mold way better.
Hey, Fabian, real quick, big shout out our brother Flea. I just seen him, Big Flea in the building. Tonight, 7:30, All We Live Flea. We got another great interview. We got the New York City legend, David the Controller Kane. David Kane, former Red Storm. Yes, you heard me. St. John's, former Red Storm. A beast at the point guard position. All We Live Flea, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, y'all. We need y'all to tune in. Another great interview by our brother. Kenny A is about to come back on. He's just having a little technical difficulties. But real quick, Fabian, pull up the bracket. Let's discuss that a little bit until Kenny A get back in the building. The NBA bracket.
Where you want to go to next? Because you know I'm taking my hat off, man. Enough is enough. These bum ass playing games, AllBall. Who the hell wants to? You gonna watch the Bulls and the Heat? You gonna watch the Magic and the Hawks?
No.
We waiting for the phone notification. Thanks.
But I'm not gonna lie. You know, right now, Dallas got to do something. You cannot make that move. Your ass better get in the playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say. Dallas Mavericks, to me, has the most pressure out of all of these teams. Now we know Lakers have pressure. Our Knicks, this first round is pressure. You know, OKC, Cleveland got a lot of pressure. They've been great all season. But the Dallas Mavericks to trade Luka Doncic, and now y'all bum asses in the play-in. Oh, we got him back, y'all.
All right.
We good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, y'all, 100 people in the building. Hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. The legend is in the building, Kenny A. Kenny A, if you get a chance, turn your phone sideways.
Oh, okay.
And tell Ms. Anderson, thank you very Mrs. Anderson, thank you very much for helping the legend.
No worries. I'm making an invoice. I'm charging by the hour.
Wait. Okay.
Wait, I don't know why it's coming home.
Hold on. We'll get them in order.
Yeah.
In the background.
But
Mrs. Anderson in the building.
Yeah, but just real quick, yeah, I think Dallas, this is where Nico Harrison is going to get fired or keep his job. I'm gonna say it again. If the Dallas Mavericks does not do their thing in this playing and get to the playoffs, Nico Harris will be fired. Oh, and then we have some breaking news. The GM for the for the Pelicans fired.
Yeah, it's not working.
Leave like that. Kenny, did you hear breaking news? The Pelicans GM Griffin, he's fired.
Yeah. Joe Dumars gonna get that job. That's awesome.
And Phoenix, right? And Phoenix Suns head coach fired.
Fired. It's a different world, man. 1 year out.
Get all these bum ass niggas out of here, man.
Yeah, we talked about that, you know, with but I thought the Malone thing was too crazy. I thought they should have let him coach in the playoffs and things of that nature, and then get rid of him and all that. So it's tough, man. But I like where Pelicans is going. You know, Joe Dumars, the coming in and running that program. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Well, listen, that's you know, I didn't hear that. So for us, that's breaking news on AllBall TV by the legend Kenny Anderson that you said Joe Dumars is going to get that GM job with the Pelicans. I love that.
Yeah, he went to McNeese State in Louisiana. He's, you know, so he's really big down there. He's big in the NBA, and it's just awesome. I think it's awesome for them. He knows the style of play that they need and the players and things of that nature. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Before you know, we had a little technical difficulties. We was talking about your Boston Celtics. What does it mean for your Celtics? How important is it for y'all to win back-to-back? What would that mean for the Celtics fans and the organization?
You know, it's very important. But like I said, last year was a lot of guys was injured on different teams that we was competing against and we won. This year it's going to be tougher, you know, without injuries. We got some, you know, Jaylen Brown, one of the high-end players from our ball club, is hurting right now. He's in and out. So I don't really know how he's going to perform in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So that could be a scare. And Cleveland is definitely a scare in the East. They're the #1 seed right now. So it's going to be difficult. But that's what it's all about, to win the championship. You know, we have the pieces in place to win, and we'll have to see. It ain't going to be easy, but it's basketball, and it's NBA basketball, so that's what it's all about.
Hey, Fabian, can I ask Kenny this question real quick before you go? Kenny, if right now you the coach for the Boston Celtics, let's say the first round you get Atlanta Hawks or Miami Heat, right? Or Chicago Bulls, who we know are not that great.
I think we're going to get Orlando. We might get Orlando Magic.
Okay, but I mean, I think that's the only threat to make it a decent series, which I still think y'all going to win. But hold on. If you get anybody else besides Orlando, do you sit Jaylen Brown and let him continue to get healthy? Or do you play him?
Oh, that's definitely. You got to have to play it by ear. You got to see how they can perform without him. First round, you might get you get the certain team that you like, you might get away with it. You know, so that I think they're going to play against Orlando Magic. So it'll be a little tougher, but we'll have to see. But I know the staff, the medical staff, the Celtics, and the coach, they have everything in order. They'll play it the right way.
Okay.
Are you looking forward to the Cavaliers duel? Or you don't want to skip over any steps here, but I think we all, like, as basketball fans, we want to see the best versus the best, especially these two playing styles. Have you watched the Cleveland Cavaliers much this year? Are you impressed by them and Donovan Mitchell and those guys?
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed. My guy Antoine Machard, who we grew up together. He went to Bishop Loughlin. He's a scout for Cleveland Cavaliers. So we always stay in touch and things of that nature. I called him today and I said, "Hey man, great season for your Cavaliers," and I was happy for him. I'm happy for him to this day, and we'll have to see. But they're a very good team. They're a very good team and well coached. Kenny, the head coach, Atkinson. We played against each other. This is our old guy. We played against each other when he was at Richmond University, and I was at Georgia Tech. So he's been around the NBA game for quite a while. He knows the game. He's with Golden State, so he's a great coach. So Cleveland is going to be interesting. But I just don't think this year, if we're all healthy, Jaylen Brown, Tatum,
Porzingis,
Holiday, Porzingis, I just don't think that we can be beat. But you just never know.
Yeah,
I like the fact that you said that you mentioned your man, how you say it, Marshawn?
Yeah, Antoine Machard. That's his name.
Marshawn. He's from Queens. Yeah. He went to Malloy.
No, he's from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. He's from
Park Slope.
Park Slope.
Okay, hold on. So him, Kobe Altman is from the same area. The president of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's all connects.
Okay, so
that's his boy. That's his boy.
Listen, I ain't mad at nobody.
Yeah, I ain't mad either, man. So I'm happy for him. Yep.
I know. We're running out of time here, but I wanted to speak on. We brought up Golden State and the Clippers and the Lakers with a LeBron, but specifically the Clippers and Golden State. They're on their last hurrah.
Yeah.
I don't remember you being on an older team because I know you was on Portland and the Nets in the playoffs. But how do you think it feels to be in that situation where it's like, yo, if certain things go right for the Clippers, they're in championship position, especially if we turn it up.
Yeah.
How did bring me to that mentality just as, a player that's about to go exit the league in their prime and try to go for it all?
Oh, that's great. It's the last hurrah. You know what I mean? So you compete. You got enough talent. Your coaching staff is in. Tyronn Lue doing a hell of a job at the Clippers. He's a great NBA coach. He's been that way everywhere he's been. Harding and the Harding and he's Kawhi Leonard. They having a great year, man. Great year as far as playing all of those guys. And you just gotta wait and see because the West is everybody saying OKC. So it's just gotta,
it's
Clippers,
tough out there.
It's tough out there out west. But I wouldn't mind OKC and Clippers in the championship. I wouldn't mind it.
But let me say, hold on, Fabian, real quick. Let me say this to both of y'all. I think in the West, this may sound a little crazy, but OKC is the best team. But I don't think they're the best team in the playoffs because once again, they're young. They still didn't make that leap. You have LeBron and Luka together, who both been to finals.
Yes.
Kawhi, remember, Harden been to a conference finals. He's an MVP.
Yes.
Kawhi's a champion.
Yes.
You still, let's not forget, the Joker is still there. And I watched last night the Clippers against Golden State. If that's the Clippers we're going to get in the playoffs,
oh wow,
the West is in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. You're going to get that because Kawhi Leonard is injury free. It looks like he's playing extremely well. James Harden is definitely. I know he's MVP. You wouldn't talk about, but he's got to be in there.
All NBA.
All NBA. He's definitely he's had an amazing season this year, and the West is going to be tough anyway. But I would like to go back and all ball. You said Dallas. Dallas is done. That's my team. Too many injuries, and that's what was sad. But it's life in the NBA.
Hey, Kenny, I gotta ask you.
Anthony Davis, Kyrie.
Hold on.
Irving,
I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
And Fabian is laughing because he know what I'm gonna ask. Nico, our guy. I love him.
Yeah, Nico's my guy.
If your ass is in this playing and don't win and get to the playoffs, does he keep his job?
I just, everything that's going on now, I don't think so. Because, you know, you let Luka go, and with the injuries, I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 because there's also the injuries. You got to look at it, you know? You got to look at the injuries, especially with Irving. You know, by him going down, it kind of threw everything out, you know? Yeah. You know, so Anthony Davis going down, and Irving going down. So all like the top 6-8 guys on the team was injured.
Yeah, Lively, Gafford, all of them.
You gotta go back. I think he gotta get one more year in, you know. One more year. Not this year. If this year is just if he gets fired this year, it's just they just mad at him and they just say the hell with it. But I don't think so.
I think they mad at him rightfully so because the Luka thing was bad enough, and you traded him for AD, and we like the trade in terms of the next 2 or 3 years. You still got Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
But I think what's worse than that is Quentin Grimes going to Philly and he's balling out.
Yeah.
If Quentin Grimes would have been in this playoffs with Anthony Davis and Gafford and these guys to replace Kyrie, that would have been something to watch, man. Because I'm with Kenny on this one, all ball. I was rooting for to see the Dallas resurrection.
Yes.
It ain't happening.
Nah.
It ain't happening.
It just ain't happening.
Listen, y'all, before we get out of here, we got the legend, man, family, Kenny Anderson. I can't let him run, Fabian, until I ask him this. We need your NBA finals. Who coming out the East? Who coming out the West? And give us your champion. We got to hear it.
So I'm going to go with Boston Celtics in the East. I'm just going to go with the common OKC. Okay. I'm going the common, pick OKC, and you know where I'm going. My Celtics gonna win it all, baby. So, come on, baby. Come on, Celtics. And if they win this year, baby, I'm getting you a t-shirt, and a hat, and y'all gonna wear it in Myrtle Beach. No, they still be playing. Y'all gonna wear it in New York. Y'all gotta wear it in New York when I come up and visit, and we're gonna go eat, and y'all gonna wear this. You gotta wear it.
Hey, Fabian, I gotta say this before we run, because y'all know me. I gotta keep it real. We had this talk a year ago, and I told Mr. Chibbs that they need to break up Tatum and Brown, and he specifically said no, they don't. Yeah. But all y'all said that, and I was wrong, and I'm looking like a fool once again. So. Big shout out to the Boston.
But on this last note, I think it's the injury with Jaylen Brown is gonna hurt us a little bit. If we could just manage it. But you can't manage it in the playoff when the second round it gets tougher. Yeah. That's gonna be our I believe if we do lose, that's gonna be our downfall right there. That's it.
Fabian, take us home, brother.
Listen, man. You see the pinned comment to our Discord, that's a link. Apparently, Discord links, they expire after a week. Please click on that. Follow us on Discord because we'll be updating you on events and everything else, videos and all that. But specifically, an event, June 21st, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in Socastee High School. Our guy, Kenny Anderson's second annual basketball showcase. June 21st, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at Socastee High School. Kenny Anderson's second annual basketball showcase. Be there or be square.
And hold on, everybody. In AllBall TV, we will be in the building.
Yeah, so you'll be in the building.
Pull up, show some love. Let's laugh, let's have some fun. And once again, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, June 21st. Be there, be square. Kenny Anderson, second annual basketball showcase. Big Kenny Anderson, always a pleasure, my brother. Anytime you can take time out with us, we thank you. Appreciate you, my brother.
All right.
Also, guys, 7:30, All We Live Fleet with David, the Controller, Kane. You kidding me? Another big Queens legend, Kenny A.
Queens in the building, baby. Left Rack City. Rack City. All the way, Queens.
Y'all know what this is, man. AllBall TV. Holla at y'all later, man. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.